What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Couple Things.
With Shawn and Andrew.
Today we're talking about things we would have done differently as parents in the early years.
Wow. Some might say that we are still in the early years of
We
parenting.
are. Very much so.
We have a almost 6-year-old, just turned 4, and a 1.5-year-old.
Yes.
3 kids. It feels like we're veteran parents now. You know? I feel like
It does, and I also feel like I have no idea what I'm doing every single day.
I agree. And that's what makes us veteran parents in some ways, you know? So today we're going to talk about some of the things we learned. I think what I came to a realization of is when we sent Drew off to kindergarten, it was the end of an era. And so by the early years, we mean the 0 to 5-year-old child years.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that Drew is almost 6, it's a totally different deal. She can feed herself. She can go to the bathroom, dress herself, put herself to bed. She's like conversational, aware. She takes instruction. And 0 to 5, it's way more manual intensive as far as prepping the food, doing the diapers, etc. And you're like physically guiding them as well, holding their hand, carrying them, whatever. And so what I wanted to do was go through and just talk about some of the things that we would have done differently, that maybe we did too much of, too little of, etc. But first, we have a comment of the day, Shawn.
This is from Lydia B. Says, thank you guys for being so real on here. A lot of couples would be afraid to really hash things out in front of people, but you two aren't, and it's refreshing.
Just
I respect it.
Hashing it out.
Yeah, we are currently in an argument.
That's not. No,
we tried filming a podcast and it didn't go well. So this is our attempt number 2.
No, we are not in an argument anymore, Shawn. Let's talk about this. We resolved the issue.
Really?
And are you just in the afterglow of the saltiness there?
How much salt is still left in your cup, Andrew?
I don't have
Be
much
honest.
salt, Shawn.
None.
I let it go, baby, like Elsa.
Is that why you threw your phone down?
It dropped when I stood up to click record.
Really?
Oh my God. Where are you at? Why don't you answer that question?
How much salt did the new software you chose to use?
The usual amount of salt, which is just self-aberration.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I've got some salt.
Okay. So, intro to the topic is that over the years and over having 3 kids, we've learned a couple things about parenting. I feel like it's rather funny to look back on how much our parenting has changed, how much we have changed since having Drew.
Quite a bit.
In 2019, we were babies then, having a baby.
Parenting is honestly so hard, and it never gets easier, which is encouraging and also discouraging. It's like as soon as you start to feel like you got the hang of it, your kid matures a little bit and things just completely start over, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
nothing can truly prepare you for it, but you aren't in it alone. And so if you are in the early years, here are some words of advice and things that we have learned as we are nearing the next phase where we know absolutely nothing again. So we need to lean on you guys to tell us that part.
Hopefully this comes off as encouragement too. But can I start? I'm going off script here by telling a story about Greek mythology. A story from Greek mythology.
That feels like it makes sense.
Do you mind?
Go ahead, babe.
There's the old tale of Sisyphus, who has to push a boulder up a hill. And it never stops. The work never stops. He keeps pushing the boulder up the hill. And I was thinking the other day about that's kind of the meaning of life. You know? I thought that people say year 7 of marriage is a pivot point. You kind of really hit your stride and it gets easier. People say, oh, you have 2 kids. By the 3rd one, you hit your stride and you got to figure it out. That was not our experience for 7 years of marriage or our 3rd kid. It's like you keep pushing the boulder up the hill. And what I think is the big mind shift that I've experienced is once you embrace that of like, hey, this is hard. Parenting is hard. Marriage is hard, but that doesn't make it bad. That's the meaning of life. You keep pushing the boulder up the hill.
It just is always hard.
Yeah.
You got to learn to enjoy it.
I think there's something there.
I mean, I would probably paint the picture more sunshine and rainbows than that.
No, I love it. No, don't get me wrong. I love the boulder.
I think pushing a boulder up a mountain hill looks like it's not fun and there aren't sunshine and rainbows. And I feel like my life feels very much so like sunshine and rainbows.
So does mine. With a boulder.
Oh boy.
Did I paint a grim picture? Does that come off grim?
It comes off very
I don't
grim.
mean it. I don't feel it grim.
I had this thought the other day. Wow, this is a tangent. You've talked about this before. Your brain doesn't draw illustrations. Correct?
Like when I'm
yes
speaking?
Or no? Yeah. Like, do you see an actual Greek mythological character pushing a boulder up a hill?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, but when I speak, I'm not like speaking from a picture normally. You know what I'm saying? Or when I hear. Isn't that what it is? How do you digest words?
Yeah. Like when you're reading a book, is it a movie playing in your head? Or is it just words?
Yeah. I feel like that's actually how I best retain information is if I visualize it.
Okay.
And then yeah.
My brain is like a constant cinematic movie. Every interaction, everything we're going to talk about, like I will go back to an exact period of time, and it's like it gets to press play. Wow. Or like the Greek mythological character is like I can picture it in my brain. My brain painted that picture very dark, rainy, cloudy, gray.
Interesting. That's insightful. Because for me, it was literally a green pasture, green hill, yoked guy.
Wow.
Big boulder.
No, mine was grayscale. Not good.
Fascinating. Interesting. We digress. Anyway, the first thing that we have learned from our early years of parenting is to worry less about doing everything the right way.
There's a lot of takeaways from this. Let's start by saying before we had Drew, neither of us had ever changed a diaper.
Mm-hmm.
We had not nannied, babysat. We had not been around a lot of babies. I knew nothing about how to take care of a baby. So everything we did, we were learning from zero. And we were so worried about everything. I was worried, I think, because I was like, if I don't do this right, I'm going to mess her up for life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've learned kind of like it all kind of averages out. You're going to make some big mistakes. You're going to do things the wrong way. But for the most part, if you're like trying to give your child the best, it's going to average out okay.
One, as far as your motherhood goes, I feel like so much of it was so beautifully intuitive to you.
Yeah.
That like never once did I think she doesn't know what she's doing as a mom, you know. That never even hit my radar. But I also think we were trying to optimize, like we were stressed about we have to feed them this food because it leads to the highest IQ. We have to give them this clothes because it has the least amount of suffocation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Which is all good. They're all good factors to think about. But what I think we realized is it's not about, it's kind of a futile game to play to optimize for what you're trying to force your kid to become into, the IQ thing specifically, right? But what we've realized is that there's a lot of good ways to raise children. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good ways. What way works for you and your child in the early years, you know?
I will say I spent a lot of time reading books, talking to experts, talking to pediatricians, everything. And I will say a piece of advice in this area where it's like the worry is kind of like there's so many different ways to skin the cat, as people would say. And I did so much research and put so much effort and time into figuring out what felt right to me for our family of how to raise our kids. And I did that by not only doing all this research and stuff, but surrounding myself with a team, a pediatrician, mentors, whatever it was, that I could lean on in times where I felt out of my depth. And I feel like I would still recommend that. I would still recommend doing the research and figuring out how you want to raise your kid. But once you get your team in place, you got to just kind of take a breather and be like, if I need someone, they're there and I can ask for their advice. But you can't just constantly be living in this state of like, should I go to the other way? Should I try? Yeah. Like you kind of got to just choose a path.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's good. Yeah. I feel like now we do have a little better footing and more confidence in handling different situations. We trust the people that we've deputized, if you will, and we trust our instincts more. And also you start to see who your child has been made to be, and you're not concerned about forcing them into this or that or the other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, they are allergic to this. Okay. Or, all right, well, they just didn't want to, they don't like the color. They like to throw dirt over everything. Okay, let's go outside and throw dirt. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like, we have to have 30 minutes of educational time, the optimization. It's just like, chill.
I will say there are so many different categories with a baby that you should, quote unquote, should be working on. There's like the psychological, educational, sleep, food, outside time, physical. I mean, if you were to follow every book to a T, you would spend every waking second of your day investing intentional time to like optimize your child's future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, which I think it's kind of on the one hand good to be intentional, but on the other hand, it's like you don't want to make it about you.
Well, and you can get so overly obsessed with like, I got to check the box. I got to do, it says to do 30 minutes of showing an infant black and white cards. And then we have to work on our letters and then our numbers. And we have to go work on motor skills. And we should work on, how they're eating and their fine motor skills. And should they need to be sleeping so many hours a day and waking. And like, it can drive a person crazy to where it takes a lot of the joy out of just raising a baby and enjoying a baby and not feeling like every single second of the day has to be like a teacher.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the hardest things about being a parent is trying to get our kids to eat healthier. We have tried so many supplements, but either they're missing something or the kids just can't stand the taste.
Which is why Beam Kids has been such a win for us. I can't believe it's already been almost 6 months, babe, since we launched it. And it's still our favorite project to date.
And since launch, more than 40,000 parents have trusted Beam Kids to give their kids tasty nutrition.
Let me pause, Shawn. 40,000.
I know.
Kudos to you.
I was just stopped by the principal at our kids' school saying it has changed their life.
Pretty awesome.
It's literally just 1 scoop a day with 40 plus essential ingredients: greens, probiotics, prebiotics, fruits, and vitamins. All of the good stuff in 2 flavors the kids actually beg for: chocolate milk or chocolate chip cookie.
Spoiler alert, more flavors coming.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just kid approved, it's kid created. Mm-hmm. Our kids were literally the taste testers in the lab, helping us protect and perfect the flavor.
And the ingredients are super clean. This was a non-negotiable for us.
Now for the exciting part. Back to school season felt like the perfect time to give back, so we're partnering with No Kid Hungry and donating $100,000 to help provide 1 million meals to kids across the country.
Because here's the reality. 1 in 5 children in the U.S. faces hunger each year. School meals don't just fill stomachs, they boost academic performance and focus. Without them, the school year can actually be the hungriest time for many kids.
Whether you want to strengthen your kid's immune system to combat back-to-school germs or give them extra vitamins that taste like dessert, check out Beam Kids.
Head to shopbeam.com/couplethings and use code couplethings to get up to 40% off while supplies last.
That's shopbeam.com/couplethings and use code couplethings for 40% off.
And remember, your order makes it possible for us to help support No Kid Hungry's mission to make sure every kid has access to healthy meals every day.
All right, real talk. Cozy Earth's pajamas and blankets are so soft, so breathable, and so cute.
Literally.
You'll literally start planning your evenings around them.
It's true. The first time I put on the bamboo stretch knit pajamas, I actually laughed because they were that comfortable. They're lightweight, super breathable, and they drape in this way that just feels so luxurious.
You love your Cozy
love
Earth
them.
pajamas, and you've been wearing them nonstop. It's not just bedtime anymore. I feel like your all-day uniform.
You came home last night and I was cooking in them. I am guilty of it. They're honestly the comfiest pajamas I have ever owned. And then we added the bubble cuddle blanket to the mix, and oh my gosh, it lives on our couch and it becomes my go-to for reading, binging shows, or sneaking in a nap. It's plush, stylish, and makes the whole room feel elevated.
Yeah, and what I love is that Cozy Earth backs everything up. Their blankets come with a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty, and the apparel has a lifetime guarantee. They mean it when they say it's built to last.
So if you want to upgrade your downtime, here's the deal. Go to CozyEarth.com and use code EastFam at checkout for up to 40% off your new favorite pajama set and blanket.
That's CozyEarth.com, code EastFam for up to 40% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, let them know that you heard about Cozy Earth from Couple Things right here. But we do enjoy understanding and learning about all those guidelines, but I think viewing them as guidelines and not like necessities is good. Like, oh, hey, maybe we should buy the cards. And then when I'm present with my child in the playroom, oh, there they are. Let's do those. Yeah. It's not like all right, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go do the cards. It's more of an overflow. Number 2. Sleep when the baby sleeps. This is a classic. I feel like as first-time parents, actually, we did not do this.
No.
I feel like we spent every waking moment when Drew was napping. We were like, I feel like trying to just catch up on some things, you know? But maybe we should have rested more. What's your take on this?
I feel like I would just categorize this one as like sleep in general.
Which we've changed a lot on.
We've changed so much on. With Drew, we were obsessive about sleep, making sure she was on a sleep schedule. We did like a modified sleep training system where we got her to sleep through the night beautifully well and with ease, but like we were so strict that we would give up any social engagement to make sure she was home in her crib with the lights off and the sound machine and the, you know, we didn't like nap together, not co-sleep, but like I didn't let her nap on me really at all because I was worried about her having a rejection to the crib or whatever it was. We were so obsessed.
Yeah.
And I will say she is by far the best sleeper in our house, but it took away some of like the joy of infancy.
Yeah, so maybe we should retitle this part as embrace a new era or understanding of sleep, where like I think with a newborn things do get weird with sleep because like you're just with our first kid. I remember driving down the road and literally shaking because we were so sleep deprived. Your mind feels foggy. You need to be aware of sleep. But now sleep in some ways like means less or it's less of like a priority.
I think that took us a while to get there though.
100%.
Because even with Drew, we still were like, we're going to get our sleep.
Yeah, we were kind of pretentious about it.
Yeah.
But now it's like you realize, man, you only get, it's crazy. And it's so hard for people with young babies to like believe this. But you only get a short window of cuddles, like the midnight baby cuddles, where they're just cooing and they're resting against you and they're breathing. And it's so easy to get frustrated. And in the middle of the night, I can't believe they're crying again. But then that phase goes away. You don't get it back. And so now that I think that's a benefit of having multiple kids. You're like, oh, We should not be stressed out about this or not be upset. It's like, let's just embrace this because it ends. So
I will say, so with our second, it was wildly different. Whereas with Drew, since we were learning everything, we were still so pretentious about sleep. I remember resenting having to get up in the middle of the night multiple times and like doing all of that, the baby sleep stuff. But then Jack came around and I was in love with it.
Yeah.
We would fight over who, got the baby that night and got to go have the cuddles and be sleep deprived.
Yeah.
And so I know it's all for a purpose, and like I don't, want to take back anything because we've learned how to be better parents with every child, but I wish I could go back and cuddle Drew more.
I feel like we have reprioritized our life.
Mm-hmm.
And also we've changed our daily schedule. So we go to bed early now because usually the kids will sleep well for the first half of the night and maybe in the middle of the night they'll wake up. So if you go to bed late, then you maybe don't even get any solid windows of sleep. Anyway, so we've changed a lot, but we've definitely changed our perspective on sleep and what the nighttime looks like. Number 3.
Not buying so much stuff. It is funny. We've gotten less and less stuff with each kid. And I think it's funny where with your first baby, you can go on all of the baby registry apps and it says you need all this stuff. And I have continually told friends, because I think we had babies. We are the first to have babies with our like friend group. I have told friends that you're going to have a baby and you're going to get home and your baby is either going to be a spit up baby or not spit up baby.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, oh, I have a spit up baby. I need some more burp cloths. And so you can get more burp cloths then.
Yeah.
You can maybe buy one or even use like a washcloth the first night when you start figuring out you have a spit up baby. But all these baby registries will tell you you need all of this stuff and you don't use it. You use some things a lot, but every baby is going to be different. So it's like,
so those things will be different from baby to baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just don't need as much as you think. We try to like so over prepare in all of these areas and then it ends up being completely wrong for that child. Get a crib mattress,
This also goes back to the optimization where it's like, oh, you should use this bottle because it's better for their palate.
No, that baby's going to choose what bottle they want.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, we've got more. We used to stress out about, oh, shoot, if they take this bottle, this is one they like, but if they take it, then this bad thing's going to happen to them or whatever. It's like, all right, chill.
Also, like passies, they're going to choose which one they want. Yeah. You're going to like, it all just comes over time and you're going to figure out what diapers you like the best. And it's just like don't stress over it. It takes time to kind of like figure that out.
But I might edit this title too, because I kind of like trying all the gadgets and stuff. I really enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's actually fun to test this stroller versus that one, this carrier versus. I mean, that's what we talk a lot about when we talk about products on Instagram. It's because genuinely we love to test and experiment and curate and review these different things. So if you're into that, go for it, but don't feel stressed that like you have to buy this whole portfolio of things. So. And
you're going to find the stuff that works for you. But it takes time too.
Yeah. But I also, and I love having a eclectic toy room that's full of all the different things that then they're tearing through the whole thing and they're playing Hot Wheels with the big G.I. Joe. And it's just fun to a certain extent, it is fun to buy this stuff.
It is fun, but it's also not necessary.
Correct. Yeah. You shouldn't stress out about it.
Next one, ask for and accept help. I will say we were pretty stubborn about this for a while for Drew and a little bit with Jet. And then by the third, we were just embracing it. But like, we were very anti like meal train with Drew. We didn't do any type of meal train and we didn't have people come over and we wanted like our space and our time and we wanted to do things exactly the way that we planned it and whatever. But babies are best done, it sounds weird to say, in communities. And like, people want to help you, and people want to help people who have new babies or babies in general. And if you ask, people will help, and you need to like accept it. Let someone come over and do all your laundry, your best friend or your neighbor. Like, yes, it might be strange to have that person there, but like they genuinely want to help you. And the more you can have people help, the better. So by our third, I was all for the meal trains. Those meal trains were amazing. Not having to stress about ordering groceries and finding, like, making food. And like, that is a gift that people want to give you.
There's that saying, it takes a village to raise kids, right? And I think our understanding of that saying has shifted away from, oh my gosh, raising kids is so overwhelming, and more towards, it's a blessing to the village to raise kids. And so it's not a burden to ask them. I actually think it was Benjamin Franklin who would intentionally employ this strategy of asking favors from other people, because it's an endearing way to build a relationship. And if you help me out, now you're invested. And then also I get to help you out in some future tense, or I'm more compelled to. And
keep going.
No, I think we used to feel guilty about that, but now we realize it's more of a gift. And I even think one conversation I know is tense throughout many of my friends' relationships, including ours, is like the first time having a babysitter.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, it took weeks of us having slow burn conversations of like, all right, are we going to like trust this person, or what's that look like? And it was harder for you to let go of that. But I think understanding that when you welcome other help, it leaves room for, we got to pick back up on building our marriage, or we got to pick back up on building our friendships, or, in different ways. It's like help looks different, and it's important to include.
Couple examples I have. So something I hear a lot amongst all of my friend groups now when people have babies, I can name 5 or 6 different friends who sincerely will offer to a new mother, if you want me to come stay overnight and help in the middle of the night, I would love to.
Because they love those baby cuddles.
Because they love them.
Yeah.
And new moms will be like, oh, no, I could never.
Yeah.
Because new moms, there is this thing. As soon as you have a baby, you start thinking that everything is a burden. And it feels like a burden at first because you're so overwhelmed and everything's new. But if someone is offering something like that, people don't offer things just to offer things. But if they offer it, take them up on it. They would love to. They're going to care. It's going to help. And then the other one, just as an example, is like, I was at an event. Try not to get too many details in here so we can't pinpoint who it is. But I was at an event. My mom and dad were there. I was there. A friend came who had a newborn. And she's got a lot of kids. And I just remember my mom, like, extending her arms to her, almost like, can I hold her? And she happily passed this infant over and didn't come back for the infant for a couple hours, like the whole event. And I remember my mom telling me, she's like, I was kind of shocked. And I was like, that means she really needed it. And if you can do those small little things, you get to hold an infant for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You're giving that mother the greatest gift, because she probably needed a break way more than we knew.
Yeah.
And my mom was obviously in heaven, but she was like, I can't believe she would trust, like, she doesn't know me. And I was like, she saw something in you where she was like, I need this break.
Yeah.
So the more you can do that, and the more you can ask, or just hand over a baby, or say like, I really need help with my laundry, people would love to do it.
5th thing. Prove me wrong. Fall cooking is the best. Between weeknight meals, football tailgates, and those chilly nights, when you just want comfort food, this is my season.
Same. And honestly, Omaha Steaks has been such a game changer for us. Having their steaks, their burgers, and even comfort meals in the freezer makes it so easy to pull together a great dinner without stressing.
That's right. We grilled their filet mignons last weekend. Perfectly tender, packed with flavor. And I don't know what magic they do, but every cut is consistent. It's seriously steakhouse quality right here at home.
Reminds me of literally my upbringing where we had a steak every football night.
Well, you're kind of from the Omaha area, so this probably does taste like home.
And it's not just the steaks, you guys. They've got juicy burgers, chicken wings, even cozy comfort meals you can heat up in minutes. I'm already eyeing their big deli-style franks for tailgates this fall.
And now's the time to stock up because during their Red Hot sale event, you get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com.
Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off at checkout with promo code EastFam.
Get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot sale event. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code EastFam at checkout.
That's omahasteaks.com for 50% off plus $35 off more with code EastFam. See the site for details.
All right, I'll be honest. Before Branch Basics, I never really paid attention to what was actually in the cleaning products that we used. I feel like I just grabbed whatever was on the shelf and I just went with it.
Same. And then when I became a mom, I started thinking more about what I was actually spraying on the counters, the kids' toys, even our produce. That's when we found Branch Basics, and it's completely changed how we clean.
Yeah, and I was skeptical at first, like, can one product really handle everything? But their concentrate actually does. We use it for laundry, bathrooms, counters, even washing fruit, and it works.
What I love is the peace of mind. Branch Basics is made safe, certified, and has 0 harmful chemicals. No fragrances, no dyes, just simple plant and mineral-based ingredients that are safe for kids, safe for pets, and for everyone.
And it's so much simpler now. One concentrate makes 13 refills, so we're not constantly buying new bottles. It's cleaner, it's cheaper, and it's way better for the environment.
Honestly, it has earned a permanent spot in our home. I don't think we'll ever go back to conventional cleaners.
That's right. If you're ready to clean up your home and your health, head to branchbasics.com to shop their premium starter kit and use code EastFam for 15% off.
That's branchbasics.com with code EastFam for 15% off your premium starter kit. Make the change today because you and your family deserve better.
All right, so I've definitely fallen in love with a couch online before, only to see the price and immediately close the tab.
Same. That's actually why I've been so excited about dupe.com. This has changed my life, you guys. It's kind of my new obsession.
It's genius, honestly. All you do is type in dupe.com / in front of any product URL, and instantly it shows you similar pieces that are way more affordable.
You guys, and these aren't sketchy knockoffs. Most of the time, the furniture comes from the same factories as the expensive brands. You're just not paying extra for a fancy label.
Exactly. And dupe.com is blowing up on TikTok for a reason. Millions of people are using it to save big, like finding the same sofa, the same dresser, or the same rug for 60, 70, sometimes even 80% off.
I literally found a dresser, you guys, I've had bookmarked for years for a fraction of the price. Total game changer.
And it's not just furniture. Dupe works for fashion, shoes, jewelry, all kinds of stuff. They even have a trade program for designers and real estate pros where you can get the lowest prices and even earn commission.
If you haven't tried it yet, go check it out. Dupe.com, that's DUPE.com, is completely free to use. No sign up, no account required. Just type dupe.com / before any product URL and instantly see less expensive alternatives. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today.
Extend more grace to ourselves and to our spouse. Like when you're in the trenches of parenting, it's easy to lose sight of yourself, which is hard. I feel like I wish I would have given myself more grace and acknowledged that well, it's just like there's a lot going on, you know, and you can and will drop the ball in many ways. You will underperform in household chores. You will feel certain types of way that maybe you feel guilty about feeling, you know, and we again have shifted our perspective less towards like, oh my gosh, I feel this way and now I'm guilty about that. We've gotten better at shifting more towards like, what a wonderful phase to love each other despite or because of each other's flaws, or weaknesses or when they drop the ball. It's like, it's a great canvas to say, I love you unconditionally, that takes grace, but we've gotten better at it,
Mm-hmm. You also learn very quickly that you are two very different people raising a baby who probably have different styles. And you just got to have more grace.
Because parenting brings out the deep style differences, deep style differences.
I heard a friend of ours say this the other day. I was asking how it was going because they have a young baby under the age of 1. And she said, we've just learned that we say literally 0 words to each other in the middle of the night. And that's for the best. And I was like, you learned that a lot faster than Andrew and I did.
Yeah.
But you just have to figure out the new rhythms and when each other gets stressed and just be like, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Go with the 6th.
Go with the flow more. We kind of talked about this already. We were so incredibly strict and regimented with Drew, with our first, of sleep schedules, schedule for the day, who she could play with, who she couldn't play with, what she could eat, what she couldn't eat, what toys, all of it. And just like take a deep breath. We're now way more flexible. It's better for babies to have a little bit more flexibility and to be moldable, not so rigid. And it gives you more freedom to just be a human.
There's a certain agility, like mental agility, that I think we've built, where we're able to pivot. Like, I think we start off wanting things to look a certain way to make the best of a situation. And then so many times they don't go that way. And we've gotten better at still making it the best situation possible. So it's just like going with the flow. Bruce Lee said, be like water, my friend, where you just move and settle into whatever new container you have. Or Winnie the Pooh, live like Winnie the Pooh, where it's just like you're just along for the ride, happy-go-lucky, content, and in whatever situation.
I will say, if it's specific to us, we used to be very, very regimented. We would never miss a nap. We would never miss a nap. We would be right on time with every sleep schedule known to mankind. We wouldn't miss it by a minute. Now, we are still very structured. We still follow sleep schedules and routines, but we're fine missing a nap. Every once in a while, we still we'll nap on a plane, we'll nap on a car, we'll nap on the go. We'll be 2 hours late to bedtime if we really want to go do a fun activity. We have that flexibility to enjoy life a little more.
And we used to get frustrated, I think, between each other and also with ourselves. And that's another thing we've gotten better at, is like communicating through that, where it's like, hey, there's a state fair thing. It's going to be 10 to 5. Are you okay if Bear misses a nap?
Yeah.
And it used to be like a contentious conversation in some degree, where it's like, we can't, I can't believe you would ask that. We have nap, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, now it's like, oh, well, I don't know. We've just flowed through that conversation more. So I do think flexibility is a superpower. And so is communicating. Number 7, the 7th thing we've learned, is to invest more in our marriage when you're in the thick of it. I don't think anything prepares your marriage for bringing in a child into the world. Nope. Nothing.
Also, it's the least talked about thing when it comes to a kid. Nobody tells you about it. Nobody tells you that your marriage is going to change.
Right. And it's easy to go into survival mode as a couple. And I'm so grateful that early on, even before we actually had Drew, we started the habit of prioritizing each other with the Thursday night date nights that are now Wednesday night date nights, 6 years into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I say nothing prepares your marriage, that can sound intimidating, I think. But it's like, it is such a amazing, I don't want to call it a test. It's like it's an amazing opportunity to grow closer together. I hope you would say the same thing. Having kids has brought us closer together as opposed to pulled us apart or like injected a ton of resentment in a relationship. It's like, no, there have been little moments of frustration and annoyance and maybe resentment, but there has been maybe in response to those little moments, a vast flood and wave of grace and forgiveness and love, which then is met with gratitude that then creates this beautiful, like, oh, wow, I am so grateful to be your teammate. Like, and you don't really get that in a marriage without the unique situations that parenting presents.
Nothing prepares you for sharing your best friend with another human for the rest of your life. And though it's the most beautiful thing in the world to watch your spouse become a parent, you also are sacrificing a lot of like your soul to be shared with another person, you know? And I think if you can just plan ahead of time how to preserve that and protect that, it's really great.
So date night, we planned. We also, this was more reactive, but the counseling and therapy we have invested in. We spent a lot of time and money on counseling.
Yeah.
And it paid massive dividends.
It did.
And I'm just grateful that we have continuously made each other a priority because there are really so many different moment to moment things that, like, if you don't have a established cadence, can go by the wayside, and then maybe it turns into resentment. And it's like, okay, no, let's set up weekly, daily routines to make sure that we're able to air these out and move past them and understand each other better because of them. So I'm grateful for that.
Next up, stop comparing yourself to anyone. It's toxic.
I feel this one.
Especially as a new mom. If you're on social media is going to show you every mom out there whose life looks so easy and so perfect and like it was painted by an artist. They're cutting shapes out of, their sandwiches and homemaking their baby food and, homesteading at the same time. And just don't do it. Just don't look at it and don't compare it because you are doing your best for your child. And that is reality. And that is all you can do. And nobody's life is perfect. They just paint a picture that it is. It steals the joy.
Yeah, it takes you out of the moment.
Also, everyone's going to tell you how best to parent your own child. And that is a dangerous lane. A dangerous voices to let in your head.
I was thinking about this in a recent conversation about what rubric are you putting together to like build your joy? And I think if you're letting other people decide what goes on your rubric, like, oh, is my kid the earliest to walk, or are they the best drawer? Are they the smartest? Are they saying the best words? Are they speaking the best? Are they the tallest? Are they all the things? Are they eating good? Are they sleeping through the night first? Or as early as my friend said theirs did, if you like, that can all build the rubric of, am I a good parent? Am I a successful parent? Am I doing this right? Am I able to brag about this? And it's like, no, don't do that. Stay in your own lane. There are an equal amount of things to say, wow, we're falling short in these areas, as there are, wow, we're excelling and so beautifully unique and different in these areas. And so it's just like, shift your focus away from the comparison of like, frick, this hasn't happened yet, or we're behind on this, and more towards, wait a minute, what a beautiful thing we have here, So stay in your own lane. We know how to parent best your own kids. So be present. Stop comparing.
Last two. They can be quick ones. Get comfortable saying no, even when it's hard. Life is going to look different with kids. And get comfortable saying no to visitors, to advice, to pressure, to scheduling, to whatever it is, you've got the best excuse in the world, which is a kid.
Yeah.
Just protect your time and protect your sanity and protect your space and protect your kid and just get comfortable being like, nah, not today.
We needed to say no to a lot of things so that we could resolve conversations. Like, hey, we need to have this. This is a thing that we're disagreeing on or not seeing on the same page. We're about to have a 3-hour conversation. Okay, I got to say no to this other thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of those little things because it is an emotional time and your whole identity is shifting. There's just a lot that's going on. So anyway, boundaries are essential. And I feel like it was hard for us to navigate around those. But I feel like now we can say confidently that our boundaries have been so healthy for our family. And those have been established through counseling, through experts, through friends, through us acknowledging and seeing in our family what we need.
And it's just a normal rhythm now. It doesn't even feel like remember that boundary. Like it's just how do you feel about me going to hang with the girls tomorrow at this time? And it's like, great. Or, you know what? We've got too much going on with the kids. Do you think we could do that a different day? Like it's so natural that we trust our answers now.
Yeah. And 2 weeks ago, we had to have a sit down kind of reorienting around the schedule because it was natural for us to want the amazing connection time with our kids in the morning and we weren't getting that. So we had to change the schedule. And so like you'll start to get better at identifying things, knowing how to pivot them. And that was a 45-minute conversation that we had that was like so obvious, yet needed a slight tweak in certain things. So anyway, we're not perfect in this, but we're figuring it out better and better as each day goes on.
Our life can be pretty hectic between having 3 little ones, work, travel, speaking engagements, spending time with friends and family, you name it. On days where I feel like I can't keep up, I'm so grateful for Kachava. It is a whole body meal shake that keeps your body and mind nourished all day long. And they just launched a new strawberry flavor with real freeze-dried strawberry. It is so good, you guys.
It's not good, it's great. And as you may or may not know, Shawn and I are big into supplements and trying different protein powders, and we genuinely can't rave enough about Kachava. This is a staple in our household, and I think right now we have 2 bags of each flavor in our pantry. Literally. It is that good.
I love their new strawberry flavor. It's creamy, not chalky, and it's packed with so many vitamins. It tastes like a sweet treat, but it also has over 85 superfoods, nutrients, plant-based ingredients, 25 grams of plant-based protein, antioxidants, and adaptogens. I honestly feel amazing after drinking any flavor of Kachava.
Yeah, and all the flavors are really good. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the chocolate one, and I'll mix it with peanut butter, maybe some almond milk and a frozen banana, and it tastes like a milkshake, but it leaves me feeling energized and focused. And I'm not just saying that, it genuinely does. That's why I've drank it for years.
I agree, and I was a skeptic at first, but it's amazing. It is worth it, you guys.
You've never tasted strawberry like this. Go to Kachava.com and use code EastFam for 15% off your next order.
That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code EastFam for 15% off. Honestly, I never really used to think twice about my underwear.
I used to think about your underwear all the time.
Okay, I'd throw on whatever I had in my drawer and focused more on the outfit and what I felt confident in. But once I tried Skims, that totally changed. Now I realize that confidence starts underneath the cute outfit. When you have on a pair of underwear that you love, it honestly just elevates the day. You may be the one person to notice, but hey, the little joys in life. One of my biggest pet peeves is when it comes to underwear is when they stretch out or lose their shape throughout the day. That's the worst. I've tried so many brands and really nothing compares to Skims. When I tried it, I threw out every pair I had and only kept this. They have this pair called Fits Everybody Boy Shorts, and it is my favorite. The fabric is so soft, it never loses its shape. I have worn and washed mine so many times, and they are still my favorite. They're perfect for everyday wear and a good bedtime pair too. Ladies, you know what I mean. I always get so excited when I place my new order from Skims and see them in my drawer. Their quality really is worth the hype. Shop my favorite bras and underwear at skims.com. After you place the order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
Are those black ones that you wear?
Yes.
I like those a lot.
I know.
Yeah, you look good in them.
They're the best. And the last one kind of what we've been preaching this whole time. Is like, trust that it's just a season and it will pass, and you'll be sad when it passes, because having itty bitty ones in the early years is so hard, but it's so amazing, and you never get it back.
Yeah, the season of sleepless nights, colic, lip and tongue ties, tantrum, feeding struggles, that's a season. But also, it's a season of your kid not knowing how to walk yet or not knowing how to talk yet, and them just cooing and them being fun in the bath and splashing around and them staring at you in the eye. Like, the cuddles, that's all a season too. So the good and the bad is a season. I think the answer or the antidote to that should be just be in it, embrace it, and pray your way through, honestly. But I wish I knew how temporary the good and the bad days were, you know? But yeah, what a time it is parenting.
Can't believe we're about out of this season. Have to have another kid.
Is there anything you would have done differently? Anything else you would have done differently?
I think that's the hard part of the whole episode is like, if I sit here and think about it, there's so many things I want to say. Oh, I wish I could have done that different or better for them. But to have any regrets with how we've raised them invalidates how much we've learned and how much better we've become as parents and how much more grateful and appreciative we've become. So part of me says, no, I wouldn't have done it different, because now I wouldn't appreciate it as much.
Yeah,
it was all easy and sunshine and rainbows from the beginning. It's just like you don't grow.
I just think of that movie Click.
Yeah.
And it hits so hard where you're like, you don't want to fast forward through this.
Yeah.
This is the best days of your life. Anyway, thank you for listening. Would love to hear what parenting lessons you've learned in the early days of having children, if you're in that season of life. But also let us know if there's any other topics you want us to cover, things that you're curious about how we do or else. And thank you for listening. If you made it this far and you haven't, please subscribe to the show on whatever platform you're listening on. And we'll see you next time. I'm Andrew.
I'm Shawn.